The residents of the settlements in the mountains of Uhud heard the screams of a woman one night. 3 or 4 brave men rode on horses, picked up swords and spears, ran headlong, but they did not see a woman there, and the screams also became silent. They came back, wandering here and there. Khalid ibn al-Walid asked, "These screams may be of a wild fox or a wolf." Abu Juraysh said, "There is a lot of difference between the screams of a wolf and a woman. People thought it was the screams of an innocent woman. They thought, and remained silent, that a woman would be taken away by bandits, or she would be the wife of a cruel husband and he would be on a journey. But the next night, these screams were heard near another settlement. A few men there also went in pursuit of those screams, but they did not see anything. After that, for a while, these female screams were heard on the second and third nights, and the silence of the night became quiet. Then the people living in those hills said that now the screams of a woman can also be heard. Jareed. Where are you, Jareed? Come." The people there did not know a man named Jareed. Their elders said that this is the scream of a dead man who is screaming in the form of a woman. Abu Juraysh's way of speaking had such an effect that it affected everyone. But there was no effect on Khalid's face, which showed that he was affected by the words of that old man of the Ghatfan tribe. Abu Juraysh said that people stopped passing through that way, where these voices were usually heard. One day it happened that 2 horse riders, who were on a long journey, reached a settlement running horses. The horses were sweating as if they had passed through the water. The horses were shivering with fear. They said that they were passing through a valley, and they heard the scream of a woman. "Jareed, stop! Jareed, stop! I am coming!" Those horse riders saw where the voice was coming from. A woman was standing on the top of a mountain and was calling those horse riders. She was far away, but she looked young. She started getting off the mountain, so the 2 horse riders got scared and stopped her. The rock in front of her was spinning. According to her, the horse riders went around the valley. They had to turn 3 or 4 more turns. In fear, they got lost. When they turned one more turn, a young woman was standing 30-40 feet away from them, whose hair was scattered and she was half white. Her face was as white as a corpse. The horse riders stopped the horses. The woman spread her arms towards them and said, running ahead, "I have been waiting for you both for many days." Both the horse riders turned their horses and turned back. The old man, Jareed, became silent. He put his hand on Khalid's thigh and said, "I can see that you have nothing to eat. Wouldn't it be good if we stop for a while? Then I don't know when you will meet. Your father, Walid, was a very strong man. You were born in my hands. I want to give you a gift." "Stop the horse and get off." The caravan stopped there. Abu Juraysh kept the roasted meat in front of Khalid and said, "It could have been a dead man or a woman's spirit. Eat, son of Walid." Then a terrifying incident happened. In a settlement, a stranger fell in such a state that he had long scratches on his face from which blood was flowing. His clothes were torn and there were scratches on his body. As soon as he fell, he fainted. People washed his wounds and put water in his mouth. When he regained consciousness, he said that he was passing between 2 rocks. A woman was screaming from above a rock. She got off so fast that no woman could get off so fast. This man stopped as if terror had taken over his body. That woman was coming so fast that she could not stop. She bumped into that man and screamed, "You have come, Jareed. I knew you were alive. Let's go." That man told her that she was not Jareed, but that woman kept pulling him by his arm and said, "You are Jareed. You are Jareed." That man pushed her to get rid of her. She fell and stood up. This man stood there thinking that she was a mad woman. She came towards him like this, that his teeth were sticking out like wolves, and he had put his hands forward like this, that his fingers were crooked like the claws of beasts. That man got scared and stepped back and bumped into a rock and fell on his back. This woman fell on him like this, and the claws pierced her face as if wolves catch their prey in their claws. He tore that man's face. He pushed that woman away and came out from under her. But that woman removed her nails from the sides of that man and tore his clothes and injured his skin badly. That wounded man said that the woman's eyes and mouth felt like they were coming out of a fire. He thought she was a beast in the form of humans. That man had a dagger, but he was so unconscious that he forgot to take out the dagger. Coincidentally, that man's hair got caught in that woman's hand. He grabbed his hair and shook it violently. That woman fell on the rock. This man ran away. He kept hearing that woman's screams behind him. He did not remember at all. How did he reach that settlement? He was not unconscious because of those screams. He was terrified. Then 2 passengers said that they saw a man's corpse lying on the road, which must have been torn apart by a beast. They said that his clothes were torn and there were scratches all over his body. There was a small settlement near that place where that woman could be found. The people there decided to move to that settlement, but the Jewish magician Khalid bin Moshan reached there. He somehow came to know that a woman kept screaming in that area. The man who came to him tore him apart. Abu Juraj told the rest of the story. He was very interested in the knowledge, and he also knew Khalid bin Moshan. When he came to know that the Jewish magician has reached there, he also got on his horse and reached there. He reached that settlement where Khalid bin Moshan had stayed. The old man Khalid bin Moshan said, with his arms spread, Abu Juraj, "How did you come here?" Abu Juraj said to him, "I have brought a corpse that you have come to control that beast." Did I hear correctly that that beast has torn 2 or 3 people apart? Khalid bin Moshan said in such a voice that he was overwhelmed with anxiety and distress. He said, "He is not a beast, my brother. He is a young woman with the true name of the God of Jews. She had dedicated her youth, her beauty, and her life to the name of Judaism. Her name is Jehovah. I had seen her a few times in Mecca." Abu Juraj said, "I had heard some false and true stories about her. I had also heard that she brought Jarid bin Musayyab, a man of the Quraysh, to you to kill Muhammad. Then I had also heard that you and Jehovah had escaped from the Muslims' siege, and Jarid was left behind. If Jehovah is alive, and he is not a beast, then how did he reach this state?" Khalid bin Moshan said, "He had sacrificed everything in the name of the God of Jews. But he was a human after all. He was young. He could not sacrifice his emotions. He had put the love of Jarid in his soul. The effect of my actions on Jarid was the same as the great love of Jehovah." Abu Juraj said, "I understand. The death of Jarid bin Musayyab has driven him mad. Can't your actions and magic work on that woman?" Khalid bin Moshan looked at Abu Juraj with his long, bright eyes, and after being quiet for a while, he said, "What effect would my actions have on him? She used to tear me to pieces. My actions would work in such a way that I could put my eyes in her eyes, and my hand would stay on her forehead." Abu Juraj said, "As far as I understand this knowledge, she had already gone mad, and was beginning to consider you as her enemy." Khalid bin Moshan said, "And her enmity with me was that I had left Jarid at the mercy of the Muslims. I could have brought him with me, but he was so influenced by my talismanic knowledge that if we had brought him forcibly, he might have killed me or Jehovah. I had created such an impression of cruelty in his mind that he could not think of anything other than murder. If I had pointed to a tree and said that this is Muhammad, he would have dropped the sword in the trunk of that tree. I also expected that if he was left behind, it is possible that he would reach Muhammad and kill him. But he himself was killed." Abu Juraj asked, "Will you be able to control Jehovah now?" Khalid bin Moshan said, "I hope I will bring him under my control." Abu Juraj asked, "Will you be able to join me in this work? I want to know something. I want to learn something." Khalid bin Moshan said, "If old age lets you walk, then walk. I am going to leave for a while. Some of the people here are ready to walk with me." Old Abu Juraj put his hand on Khalid bin Walid's shoulder and said in an emotional tone, "And then, Khalid bin Walid, the 2 of us, riding on old camels, reached that mountainous area where it was said that a woman had been seen. We entered a narrow valley. Behind us were 10 or 12 horsemen and 3 or 4 horsemen. When we entered the valley, all of them put arrows in their bows. The valley opened up ahead. When we turned left, we saw many camels eating a man. A wild fox came running out of the camels. I saw a human arm in his mouth, and the foxes ran away, and the camels flew away. Human bones were scattered there. The head was separated. After that, the long ones were scattered here and there. Some were with the skull. Half of the skull was still there. It was Yuhawa. Khalid bin Moshan kept looking at his scattered bones and half-eaten face for a while. Tears flowed from his eyes, and he was drawn to his milk-like beard. We came from there. Khalid bin Walid said, Khalid bin Moshan and Yuhawa had prepared Jarid bin Musayyib for the murder of Muhammad, peace be upon him. Jarid bin Musayyib was killed by the Muslims, and you have seen the consequences with your own eyes. Don't you understand, Abu Juray? The old Abu Jurayj replied, Yes, yes. With the magic of Khalid bin Moshan, the magic of Muhammad, peace be upon him, is stronger and more powerful. People are right to say that he has magic in his hands. It is the miracle of that magic that people continue to believe in his religion. Jarid had to be killed, Khalid said. My old friend, the story of that evil soul must have reached Medina, but no one would have been scared there. The followers of Muhammad, peace be upon him, would not have accepted that this jinn is a ghost or a badru. Abu Juray said, Why should the followers of Muhammad, peace be upon him, be afraid? His magic has surrounded Medina. He cannot be killed. He was injured in the Battle of Uhud and remained alive. Your and our army went to hit bricks from the bricks of Medina when such a storm came and our army ran away. Whoever went in front of him in the battlefield, his mind was answered. Do you know, Khalid, another attempt to kill Muhammad, peace be upon him, has failed? Khalid said, I heard, but I do not know the whole story. Abu Jurayj said, This is the incident of Khaibar. The Muslims attacked the Jews of Khaibar so that the Jews could not stand a day in the competition. Khalid said, Deceitful people do not fight in the field. The Jews attack the back. Abu Jurayj said, And he did it in Khaibar. The Jews had competed, but the fear of Muhammad, peace be upon him, had already disappeared. I heard that when the Muslims reached the position of Khaibar, the Jews came out to compete. Some of them recognized Muhammad, peace be upon him. Someone shouted loudly that Muhammad has also come. Then someone else shouted and said, Muhammad has also come. The Jews fought, but the fear of Muhammad, peace be upon him, was so strong that they put down their weapons. When the Jews were defeated, they began to express their loyalty to the Messenger of God. And they made such demonstrations that it was known that the hearts of the Jews are full of love for the Muslims. Those days when the Messenger of God, peace be upon him, was in Khaibar, a Jew seduced the Prophet, peace be upon him, to come to him. He expressed his loyalty in such an emotional way that the Messenger of God, peace be upon him, did not find it appropriate. The Prophet, peace be upon him, went to his house. With the Prophet, peace be upon him, was Bashar bin al-Bara. The Jew Zainab, bint al-Harith, who was the wife of Salim bin Shakam, laid her eyes on the way of the Messenger of God, peace be upon him, and offered him food. She had forgotten the cruel drum. She asked the Prophet, peace be upon him, Which part of the lamb did you like? The Prophet, peace be upon him, liked the hand. The Jew cut the hand of the lamb and put it in front of the Messenger of God, peace be upon him, and Bashar. Bashar bin al-Bara cut a piece of meat and put it in his mouth. The Messenger of God, peace be upon him, put the meat in his mouth but swallowed it. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Do not eat this, Bashar. There is poison in this meat. Bashar bin al-Bara was chewing the meat. He swallowed it, but the poison had already come out of his throat. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, O Jew, am I wrong to say that you have put poison in this meat? The Jew could not deny it. The evidence of her crime was revealed. Bashar raised his hand on the throat and fell down. The poison was so strong that it did not let Bashar get up again. He died of the poison. The Jew admitted boldly, "O Muhammad, by the God of the Jews, it was my duty that I did it." The Prophet, peace be upon him, ordered the murder of the Jew and her husband, and with the Jews of Khaibar he changed the attitude of the Prophet according to their mentality. Ibn Ishaq writes, Marwan bin Usman told me that the Prophet, peace be upon him, was suffering from the last disease. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said to Bashar al-Bara, when she was sitting with the Prophet, peace be upon him, Bashar, "I still feel the effect of that poison in my body, which that Jew had put in the meat. I did not chew the meat. I swallowed it. But the effect of the poison is still there." Khalid ibn al-Walid said that no one can kill Muhammad. Abu Jurayj said, "How long will his magic last? He has to be killed one day." Abu Jurayj asked Khalid, "Have you ever thought of a way to kill Muhammad?" Khalid replied many times, "The day my tribe was defeated in the Battle of Badr, I was thinking of a way to kill Muhammad with my own hands. But my plan did not work." Abu Jurayj said, "Will you tell me that plan?" Khalid replied, "Why not? It is a very easy plan. It is a face-to-face battle. But I cannot fight alone against an army. We have lost 3 battles." Abu Jurayj said, "I swear to God, I never thought that Walid's son could be a fool. I am talking about a plan like the Jews. I am talking about deceit. You cannot kill Muhammad in a face-to-face battle," Khalid said. "You cannot kill him with deceit. Deceit has never succeeded." Abu Jurayj bowed to Khalid and put his finger on his chest and said, "Someone else's deception can fail. The Jews' deception will not fail. The reason for this is that the deceivers are part of the Jews' religion. I am a friend of Ibn Moshan. Listen to him sometimes. He is wise. He has magic in his tongue. He will make you famous with his tongue. He says that years will pass. Finally, the victory will be of the Jews. If there is success in the world, only deception will be successful. Muslims are still few in number. Therefore, there is unity in them. If their number increases, the Jews will divide them in such a way that Muslims will fight each other and will not be able to understand that this is the work of the Jews. How long will Muhammad live to keep them alive?" Khalid stood up. Abu Jurayj also stood up. Khalid put his hands forward. Abu Jurayj took his hands in his hands. Khalid got on his horse. Abu Jurayj asked, "You did not tell me, where are you going?" Khalid said, "Medina." Abu Jurayj asked, "Medina, what are you going to do there? To your enemy?" Khalid said, "I am going to see the magic of Muhammad." Saying this, he put his horse on the back. He went a little far and looked back. He did not see Abu Jurayj's caravan. Khalid left the drunken place and went away. Transcribed by turboscribe.ai. Go unlimited to remove this message.